This is 99.9 Radio. Turn it up.
Welcome to EFM's 3 p.m. News. I am your presenter, Narissa Bostwick. On the local scene, a major milestone in healthcare access was marked today as the St. Vincent Planned Parenthood Association, in partnership with the Carolina Foundation, Liberty Canadian Foundation, and the Ministry of Health, launched this country's first solar-powered mobile clinic. The mobile clinic, designed to reach remote and underserved communities, including the Grenadines, is equipped with solar power, high-speed digital connectivity, and vital health services such as HIV testing, counseling, and general screenings. According to a report by the Agency for Public Information, API, Minister of Health, Wellness, and the Environment, Honorable Jimmy Prince, said this initiative demonstrates how strong partnerships between government, nonprofits, and the private sector can reshape healthcare access in the Caribbean, making it more inclusive, sustainable, and community-driven. He added that initiatives like these support the government's trust in expanding community-based healthcare access. President of St. Vincent Planned Parenthood Association, Elvis James, described the clinic as a movement grounded in dignity and health justice, bringing services directly to those most in need. James expressed gratitude to the partners who believed in the vision and made it possible. President of Liberty Caribbean Foundation, Rice Campbell, echoed similar sentiments, emphasizing that digital connectivity is now essential for healthcare delivery. He also announced a US $50,000 grant to help schools in St. Vincent recover from Hurricane Beryl, supporting digital learning infrastructure. Meanwhile, head of programs at the Carolina Foundation, Amina Doherty, called the clinic climate resilient and people-centered and praised its long-term focus on recovery and resilience following the 2021 volcanic eruption. St. Vincent and the Grenadines will play host to the 2025 CBN Winlot Windward Island School Games from July 26 to August 2nd this year. The Windward Islands School Games is a significant annual multi-sport event that brings together student athletes from Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The games intend to foster camaraderie among the athletes and encourage the development of athletics among youth. The first day of competition will be at the track and field. The first day of competition will be the track and field component tomorrow, July 26th, at the Sir Vincent Beach National Stadium. On July 22nd, police arrested and charged Kieser John, a 38-year-old laborer of Barley, with the offenses of taking conveyance and damage to property. Investigations revealed that on July 8, the accused, without the consent of the owner or any lawful authority, used motor vehicle P4786. He was also charged for, without lawful excuse, damage the right side body of the said vehicle, valued at EC $2,893.25, by driving it into a steel pole, the property of a 68-year-old truck driver of Barley. The offense was committed in Barley. John appeared before the Barley Magistrate Court on July 23rd. He was not required to enter a plea and was sent to the mental health facility for a 2-week assessment. The matter was adjourned to August 6, 2025. In further news on the local scene, officers from the Farmer Support Company and extension officers for the Grenadines will be conducting registration for farmers' identification cards next week on the following dates and the time. July 29th from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Miro at the Administrative Building. July 30th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. in Beckway at First Choice Supermarket. And on July 30th from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. in Union Island at the Tobago Cays Marine Office. The scheduled date and location for Canoan will be announced later. Farmers must present a valid national identification card or passport along with supporting documents pertaining to the land, deed, permission of use document, rent or lease agreement. Farmers are to be properly attired before photographs are taken. No shades, hats, or sleeveless. On to news on the regional scene. And Deputy Chief Medical Officer Dr. Arthur Phillips is appealing to the Barbadian public to practice proper hygiene in the wake of the increase in gastroenteritis. The Ministry of Health and Wellness recently reported 429 cases of gastro, with the last 3 weeks showing numbers above the intervention threshold. Dr. Phillips says laboratory testing in the past month has identified Salmonella, rotavirus, and norovirus as the most common organisms contributing to the cases. He says the public needs to seek medical attention if symptoms persist. We hear more in this report from the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation.
At the moment, it is not of a particular concern, but we appreciate the population being aware and being reminded of the things that they can do to minimize risk of one, infection, and two, certainly if there is persistent diarrhea and vomiting, and despite efforts at dehydration, there's a concern, then persons should seek guidance from their healthcare provider.
That report from the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. The Ministry of Health and Wellness underscored the need for members of the public, including those preparing and selling food during crop over festivities, to practice proper hand hygiene. Teachers will now be held to a higher level of accountability as the Ministry of Education pushes for improved performance in the nursery education system across Guyana. This was revealed by Minister of Education Priya Manning-Chand during the recent commissioning of the Crane Nursery School on the west coast of Demawara. Minister Manning-Chand highlighted that over the next 5 years, the government will focus on ensuring every child is equipped with foundational skills from the nursery level. We are going to have to move to a place where Guyana is more accountable in the school system. We must measure what teachers do, we must measure their output, and whether they are effective in the classroom, Manning-Chand said, according to a report by Newsroom Guyana. The minister made it clear that children leaving in nursery class without essential skills, such as sounding out letters, identifying long and short vowel sounds, blending, and beginning to read by nursery year 2 is unacceptable unless the child has a disability. If a disability is identified, then that too will be properly addressed. Children must be numerate at an age-appropriate level. They must be able to write, and that requires different attention in the classroom, Manning-Chand stated. She urged teachers, especially nursery teachers, to take their roles seriously. And finally in the news at this hour, France intends to recognize a Palestinian state in September at the United Nations General Assembly, President Emmanuel Macron said on Thursday, in hopes of bringing peace to the region, but the plan drew angry rebukes from Israel and the United States. Macron, who unveiled the decision on X, published a letter sent to Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, confirming France's intention to press ahead with Palestinian recognition and work to convincing other partners to follow suit. True to its historic commitment to a just and lasting peace in the Middle East, I have decided that France will recognize the state of Palestine, Macron said, according to a report by Reuters. I will make this solemn announcement at the United Nations General Assembly next September, he added. Home to Europe's largest Jewish and Muslim communities, France will become the first major Western country to recognize a Palestinian state, potentially fueling a movement so far dominated by smaller nations, generally more critical of Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned the decision by one of Israel's closest allies and a G7 member, saying such a move rewards terror and risks creating another Iranian proxy. This has been WeFM's 3 p.m. News. I have been your presenter, Narissa Bostwick. Do join us at 5:30 p.m. when we will bring you our next newscast.
People's Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical, skin and body care needs. Located on Grenville Street in Kingstown. They open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Call them today.